in a league where LR went 0-4 and now won 4 games in a row, I feel like KCB could do the same. It's definitely possible. The thing is, though, they have a tough time up against Fnatic now. I think Fnatic is not the peak consistent team, so they do have a lot of windows for attack. I think Empyros has had some off games here and there. I think Upset, while he's been the most consistent member, he hasn't had that star power that I've seen him with Mickey. They haven't had that lane domination that they had before, so I can definitely see that Hazel and Prime should be able to weather that storm. And with the Orianna locked in for Vladi as well, we'll see if Vladi can kind of have a little more redemption, because he's also been, frankly, a disappointment for me.
Yeah, I mean, you really were hoping for that big, major level up. Fnatic radically changing the top side of the map, something the Fnatic fans last year were looking for, we're asking for. We got Pobian, he was solid. They decided to make some more changes this year. Empyros so far not really delivering in a bigger way. Of course, you want to give him time, right? When Oscar joined the roster, it took him time as well before he could find his footing. See if it's the same story here. But this is a really important matchup to win for Fnatic as well, because they are kind of in the middle of this pack that's just hovering above the cusp they need for wins to get into playoffs. We expect them to be there, but you start dropping games to KCB, well...
That's rough.
Then it's rough.
Yeah, and especially like before, I mean, when we were coming into the split, in my head, 4 wins was kind of like the cusp of securing playoffs, and then 5 wins was the cusp. But now, like, since everybody's beating everybody, we're really not sure how many wins you're actually gonna need. So every win counts that much more. And I'm really curious here, KCB, they decided to instantly lock this Pantheon Galio up against the Orianna. They could choose to send it top now because they locked in the Rumble, but probably it's going to be into this Orianna. And I really like this adaptation from KCB, because I think you're putting a lot of pressure on Yukino by having him have this beefy front line in front of him and just allowing him to have more playmaking. And I think that's just playing to KCB's strength. Yukino looked like their best member. He plays so aggressive. He really pushes the limits. A little bit like 113, although I know he's not the most popular name as some people said.
Stop comparing everyone to 113.
No, okay, I'm comparing everybody. I've just compared him, and Reledge said it was a very good comparison. That's what he said.
All right.
So, very aggressive. He's gonna bring a lot of surprises this game, and I think he's gonna be the one leading the captain, leading the boat. The captain leading the boat.
Captain of the ship.
Captain of the ship.
Leading the charge. What are you looking for here?
Yeah, I mean,
whatever. Mix of metaphors.
Yeah, he's the leader, captain. Admiral.
All right, you need to stop. You take a break,
Colonel.
reset your brain a little bit. We're heading into second ban phase. Unsurprisingly, the 3 beefy boys on the side of KCB are probably going to need some sort of scaling hypercarry, something Fnatic are well aware of. And since they've already gotten a Yunara for themselves, they've taken away the Aphelios. See if they ban another, as we're getting bans on the J4 and the Aatrox. They don't want to give that over to Razork. Razork, of course, had a rough Jace game yesterday, but it's already been banned. So that's 4 bans going at Razork. KCB clearly very committed to limiting what that man can play.
Yeah, they really want to just set up Yukino for maximum success here, trying to give him the best possible avenue for some good gameplay, as we see what ADC that they want to go for. Lucian? I'm not sure about the Lucian. We'll see what support they decide to pair it up with. Kai'Sa, I like quite a bit more. You already have 3 champions that really want to go in. Kai'Sa follows that up nicely. You get last pick for support here, although it's pretty obvious what type of support you want to go for. It's going to be another engaged support, and that's why Fnatic feel comfortable locking in this Alistar, and they go for the Poppy jungle as well, which was one of Razork's best champions alongside the Vi, but hasn't been played too much in the jungle recently. But with all the dashes that KCB have built up here, I think Razork just thought it was too good of a Poppy game to miss out on.
Yeah, and I agree. And I love seeing Razork on the Poppy. This is a champion where he's not afraid to get really active at earlier stages of the game. KCB debating what the final pick is going to be here. You said it feels like they just want another piece of engage for the puzzle. Nautilus, the kind of stock standard pick. Yeah. I think the most obvious immediate choice. So Fnatic on their side have this scaling Yunara, have some crazy team fighting ults, and a Poppy that's really trying to shut down what KCB are doing. And KCB, we can all see what they're trying to do.
It's very go in.
Run in face first and pray.
Booga, booga.
There you go.
I do think that feels a bit bad, the Nautilus. You can see Prime hovering, the Seraphine hovering, a few random champions, because against the Poppy, you ideally want to be able to lock in a range support so you don't have to worry about that Poppy W, you don't have to enter her range. But with the Kai'Sa, you just need to lock in something that's engaged, and with the Nico taken out as well, which is kind of the one range premier option we've seen a lot with the Kai'Sa. He didn't have many options. He's going to go for that Nautilus. Don't think they're going to get the laning lead that you would have hoped to get with something like the Kai'Sa not, just because that Alistar will absorb so much of that pressure. But it's really all about Yukino for me this game.
Yeah, need to see what he can get done in the early game. We've also seen so many Pantheon games, even in just this week, where you're able to take over on the side lanes, really use the pressure of that ulti to make your mark across the entire map. You've also got the semi-global of the Galio. So easy to see a world where if KCB can find that lead, they can really start to get some work done on the map. They did it against G2, hoping to replicate some of that success against Fnatic, maybe with a little bit more discipline around the big purple worm in the mid game.
Yep.
But it all starts in the earlier stages, and it is a tall task. You talked about Upset not having quite the same high highs in the 2v2 as he had last season, but him and Lospa are a lethal duo. We're going to have to see what they can get done with the power of this Yunara to get in the game.
I mean, for me, what I'm really looking for when it comes to this Fnatic lineup is seeing how Vladi continues to develop. Because as I said earlier, he's been a pretty big disappointment for me, but I just know that he has so much more left in the tank. We saw him last year. He was such an exciting prospect alongside Kalist, and I just know that when he feels comfortable, when he feels great, he can be such a star player for this roster, and then also just Upset and Lospa unlocking each other. I think Empyros, it's very clear for me what role he plays in this team. He's just kind of left to an island, and nothing really happens. Like, yeah, Razork will come help him if he needs it, or something happens around top lane, but it's very clear that it's around mid lane and bot lane that Fnatic want to play. So how does Upset and Lospa develop as a duo? Can they reach the same heights that Upset and Mickey did? I've been really liking more and more what I've been seeing from Lospa. I wasn't too impressed at first, but I think as Nautilus, his Alistar, he's shown a lot of promise in the last few games, and we'll see how he can do up against this KCB today.
Yeah. And obviously on the opposite side for KCB, while Fnatic are trying to develop, KCB just trying to survive. Thus far, level 1 trades, a little bit bloody. But again, I said it once before, maybe I'll run this one a couple of times here. This is the do or die for KCB point. We have hit the threshold where if they drop a game, they are completely and totally out. So it's not enough to just do well against Fnatic to find that miracle win. You have to keep finding those miracle wins.
Well, they're getting some great trades to start this game off in the bot lane at least, so that definitely could aid them a lot in their playoff dreams, especially now forcing Lospa to base so early means that Upset's going to lose a lot of minions here. He's just completely zoned off, having to wait for Alistar to return to lane. And we talked about it, right? We talked about how Upset and Lospa, they haven't found the same level of success that Upset found with Mickey. And falling behind in this early game, especially when Razork is pathing down to you, is going to feel really bad for Fnatic right now.
Yep. Now a little bit more pressure on Razork to make one of those early plays as he starts up the Gromp. We'll see how soon he actually wants to get active on the map. You've also got the pathing down from Yukino. Kamiloo trading well with Vladi in the mid lane, but takes a bit more damage than he'd like on the way out.
That Galio skin is so weird.
What? You don't like it?
It's just, it doesn't look like a League skin. It looks like a...
Yeah, it looks like a Gundam. It's like Evangelion in my League of Legends.
Really,
this is a crossover.
Also, Prime
I'm here
is just
for.
killing Razork in his own jungle. This is a bot gap and a half, if I've ever seen one. I think Razork is just confused right now. He's like, what's happening? Nautilus just 1v1'd him in his own jungle. He has the base.
We were looking too much at Hazel after that interview. We were looking too much after Yukino in the champ select, but it seems like in the game, Prime is the man out here doing work.
I mean, now Yukino gets this bot crab. He can go for the red buff as well.
And Razork can't really walk in. I mean, if he walks into his own jungle, he's going to be in trouble. Hazel has to be a bit safe here, though.
Yeah. So they do have vision of the ward. They can clear that out in the tri-bush to make sure that now there's no wards for the side of Fnatic. You can see they have a sweeper on the Alistar and no ward on Upset. So they should be a little bit wary of the Pantheon, although they know that Yukino really wants to base because he completed his full clear and took some camps. Which is one thing that Upset and Lospa need to consider here as they have trades.
The pull. 2 more autos going down. Upset, despite the level discrepancy, bit of extra damage there is KCB, I think, hoping just for a chance now to recall. You highlighted Yukino, though, right? That the camp lead looking good right now, able to grab the blue buff as well. Sooner you get that Sundered Sky, sooner you can really just solo carry a lot of those skirmishes.
Prime here wants to be a bit cheeky and try to hold the wave, but Lospa sniffs him out. So they're just going to make sure that this wave crashes now so that they can base freely. Just wanted to draw a little bit.
Just wanted to draw a little
Practice on drawing.
I respect it. Yeah, it's good. Get the drawing in. Practice. Calm down, dude. It's an elimination game, please, sir.
Well, who knows? It might not be
it could be the start of a miracle run.
Yeah. So again, then maybe KC will have a happy face after this.
So far, they do. Look, Bot has a small lead. It's not anything too crazy. But I think level 6 is where KCB really are 100% in the driver's seat. Fnatic are going to be the ones who have to weather the storm of Pantheon ult, Galio ult, and a Kai'Sa ready to just jump in.
There's a lot of annoying globals. At the same time, though, I think like bot lane, level 6, Yunara Alistar has a lot more pure power. And just how much fighting power that provides should allow them some leniency in the 2v2. But it is true. That's one of the big reasons why we see such a high priority on Pantheon. It's just that ulti and the fact that he can play both sides makes it really, really difficult for anybody to really contest much when Pantheon has that ultimate up.
No. Yeah, but again, it is Yukino to be really this playmaker at early stages, now linking up with his bottom lane, and on the opposite side, really looking at Upset to be that big scaling carry.
I still can't get over the Galio skin. It doesn't look like a Lee skin.
Bro, it's so, I don't know, I love it.
I mean, it's cool.
It is cool.
Prime?
But I understand you're concerned about the branding. You're a branding guy. Does it match the aesthetic of the universe?
Yeah, man. I mean,
Lollipoppy, fine.
I mean,
Draven,
not fine. Nobody says Lollipoppy fine.
The Rek'Sai that rides a jet ski, fine. But the Galio that looks too much like a mech, this is where folks, you gotta draw the line
I just feel like the model looks too detailed. It's like, they can do that? You know what I mean? Like, the model doesn't look like a League model. Also, KCB picking up the dragon there. Yep. Good start for them. One of the things I was looking at a lot, I was reviewing Lost Returns today.
Okay, all right.
And they are really good at getting early dragons. And I do think, as a weaker team, and in general in the LEC, getting early drakes is just so damn valuable. Because it makes it so that if the enemy team gets a gold lead, now they don't really have a drake win con, so you can slow the game down much more. And if you get a gold lead, you can just keep stacking those drakes, and it makes it so much easier to end the game. So we got some trades here in the bot lane.
Trades are continuing. Level 6 is there for Hazel. He's able to proc the plasma, not quite enough damage. Obviously eats a lot of damage in return, but KCB continuing to sustain the push here on the bottom side. Hook landing on Upset, immediate ulti in from Hazel. They get a quick flash out as well. And I mean, Hazel's kind of underselling himself. He's like, don't worry guys, next year when I come back, I'll be cooking a bit. He's cooking right now, like 10 minutes after the interview.
Okay, I'm going to give all the credit to Prime. He's hitting every single hook and setting up Hazel for success here. Hazel is just right-clicking. I love to give some ADCs credit, but that was all Prime. So
I thought all ADCs did was right-click. Is that not something we're proud of?
No. We do a lot more than that. We dodge skill shots. We hit some skill shots.
You farm.
Yeah. Well, that's right-clicking, but
yeah, there you go.
It's at the right timing, so.
Okay, all right, fair enough, fair enough. Well, regardless, it hasn't amounted to a significantly larger gold lead, but holding on to that priority is nice. Probably part of the reason that they are able to secure that first drake. And if they can continue to do this, set themselves up for the second. That said, it's 30 seconds to Herald. Neither side really has a massive push advantage. Kamiloo maybe with Winds of War here just to try and force that wave, but we'll see which jungler wants to get active on the top side of the map first. Razork and Yukino both kind of laser locked on the bottom side of the map for now.
That Galio kid is so cool. I mean,
why you're going back and forth.
I mean, it's like, it doesn't look like a Lee skin because it looks too good. Like, it looks too detailed. The model is too cool. And, like, it's too many limbs on the model. I can't get over it.
I'm sorry. Are you? Is there some? Did I miss something? Are you like friends with the skin team now? Or are you just trying to get brownie points?
But just look at it.
But it does look really cool.
Like,
no, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I like my Evangelion, whatever the heck is happening here.
It just looks too detailed. Like, you're telling me that Orianna and Galio is in the same game.
Yeah, whoever made the Galio robot did a way better job. No shade to, like, Singed or whatever. Spoilers.
Singed made Orianna?
I thought that was the person. I don't want to get into it because then the lore nerds are going to come out, and I love you lore nerds, but you guys, sometimes you get really angry when people get things wrong, and I swear it's not personal.
I don't think Singed made Orianna.
No, but who's the... Never mind. We'll get into it later. Regardless, whoever made Orianna, slightly worse job. Good news for KCB. They were the ones who eventually got the Void Grubs back on track here. Razork, though, trying to do something on the bottom side of the map. For now, that something is getting the red buff.
Yeah, but KCB won a contest here. Yukino is looking to move over.
I mean, Prime's going back for round 2. The last time we saw this 1v1, Prime won. Razork gets out. Lands initially. Taunt onto Razork. Yukino there. Vladi able to land the shockwave, but it's not a lot of damage. Downgores Razork. Lospa coming over the wall. Upset, though, ready to start kicking off in the fight instead. Just going to dash away. Realizes how quickly this could turn on him.
And KCB are just first on the objective. They don't have... Like, Fnatic doesn't have the damage to actually retaliate whatsoever. Upset tries to go in for the fight, but Razork ends up falling. Doesn't even have time to use the flash. And that's now a Drake going over to KCB as Prime. Oh, maybe he's in trouble.
Body block. Managed just to flash just in time when Lospa tries to punt him back, so we'll be able to escape, but loses out on the sum.
Yeah, it gets a little bit too greedy there for the vision.
Observers are baiting you.
Oh my God, look at that. What the hell?
Want you to keep talking about the
That's
Gal.
a league skin? Are you kidding me? Bro.
Guys, I want to be absolutely clear. I did not pay, no one at Riot has paid him to do this. He's just genuinely really excited about the Galio.
No, but it's like, what I just mean is like, you know, like, it's like it doesn't look like a league skin.
It's too good.
It's too detailed.
Someone in their performance review in Los Angeles.
It's like my steak is too juicy.
Is going to link this clip and say, I would like a promotion. You are going to get someone a promotion, Jackspketra. I don't know who they are. I don't know what their name is, but you're committed to it, and I respect it.
Yeah. No worries, whoever you are.
All right.
And that Q as well, I mean. Okay, anyway.
Okay,
let's talk about KCB, because they're doing a lot of nice things this game. They got first Dragon, they got 3 grubs, and they got first blood. Might even get first brick.
It's definitely possible. And there's a lot of crystalline overgrowth. They really want to hit the crusty tower.
Hit it. Tower, go. You know, every time I see pro players that don't hit the tower, like I know they shouldn't hit the tower because it's like high risk, but then I see all the crystals, they're just like, yeah.
I'm just saying, that was what happened to Leader the other day. He told me.
Yeah.
See a crusty tower, sometimes you just walk up and hit it, and then you die.
I was going for it.
Cool. Tau
gets it for free.
I mean, Q3's there. He could just go all in on Empyros.
He might just kill him.
He's still going to go all in on Empyros. A little bit risky, but gets the flash pretty effortlessly, and now gets to proxy the next wave while he has the empowered state. We got a fist fight on the bottom side. They try to get in to get the one shot, but it just doesn't work. The taunt is there as well. Hazel completely in touch. Nice knockup coming in from Razork. Ulti to follow up from the Galio. It looks cool, but it doesn't do any extra bonus damage, so KCB got to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, that Galio ulti, it looked grand, it looked epic, but it was not enough to deter Fnatic as they get all the HP bars here, and that surely must be Drake for them. As now Razork is going to start up this Mountain Dragon. Upset and Lospa will be his helpers. And they will pick up this second Drake here. So now tying the Drake score 1-1. Let's see what soul we get. Always a little fun mini game. I think it'll be Ocean.
Ocean?
I think Ocean.
I'm going to go Infernal, just because I don't want it to be Chemtech.
Yeah, but now you jinxed it. It's going to be Chemtech. Ocean! Oh my god! How could I have predicted this? That's analysis.
I've been wrong too many times this weekend. I predicted against Los Ratones. I predicted against Ocean Drake. I'm just gonna. You're right, Jack.
That's true.
Talk more about the Galio skin. Clearly, I have no idea. Don't talk more about the Galio skin. Right at this point of the game, look. I think credit to Fnatic. Right, they recognize that KCB have overextended a bit. They don't really have the damage to finish those kills, so they're able to punish. They're able to force them out. They get that Drake, which does even things up and make things a bit harder. Yukino, though, is still a big problem for them and is able to wander in and not get a red buff.
Yeah, Razork took it.
Yeah.
So, Razork is kind of mugging him right now. Let's see who gets the Raptors, though. Another fight here. Lospa moving in.
Razork going to get the Raptors, too. Ooh.
I mean, Yukino here.
That's tough, because you're the one with the money,
yeah,
but not the one with the camps now. Is Hazel still being able to clear out mid lane. Upset a little bit far behind, but I imagine this first back, or this base will now finally be cracking. So evening things up on the way to some Ninja Tabby. Sorry, plated steel caps. It's been like 7 years since they changed that.
Yeah. You know, Forsen, we told him to buy Tabai, and he was like, what's that? And we were like, oh, no, the plated steel caps.
It's weird when you feel old telling a guy who I'm guessing is much older than you.
Yeah, he's like nearly 40.
Now, you know what? Thank you for telling me that. I feel much better about being in my 30s. Shout out, Forsen. Sorry. We've hit the point in the game, though, where things have slowed down a bit. I think we're going to have to wait for an objective or for someone to flash kind of crazy style into the back line. The initial momentum of KCB, especially around the bottom side in the jungle, has got them a bit of gold, but really not much else.
It's fizzled, I'm afraid. I mean, they had some rough fights. They weren't able to pick up that second dragon, and now it feels like more Razork's in the driver's seat here, invading this bot side. And Yukino is just going to drop into his own Grump and look for the crab instead. I mean, the one worry that I have for this KCB lineup is it's very clear what they want to do, but their comp is very low damage. Like, they need Yukino and Hazel to really do a lot of heavy lifting here. And while Tao is playing a tank, he's not really a tank, like a full damage bruiser type of champ, it's still, they can easily get kited out if they don't get a good CC layering, and Upset can just have free reign in the team fight alongside Vladi. They don't have the firepower to keep going in a long extended fight.
No, they absolutely don't, right? The value of repeated command protection from Orianna, if Upset ever gets more lifesteal under his belt, it just doesn't seem like they're going to be able to finish off these key targets unless everyone is focused firing their cooldowns on the same target. Kamiloo also going for a tankier option than Orianna. Makes sense, again, you want to be able to survive, you want to just be able to lane comfortably. But it does mean you just, yeah, you're right, you just don't have that much damage. Of course, if you stack all your cooldowns on a single target, maybe you can get something done, as Razork is going to knock Prime away. Quick interrupt coming in with the Steadfast Presence, as Tao may now be in trouble. Rilla waiting off to the side with the taunt to get things going. Empyros is here as well. Tao now opting to go all out, but he's so low, it's going to cost him his life. Dash back to safety. Heal comes in from Prime for an extra second. Another Pathmaker to get Tao away, but Upset going to finish the kill. Prime getting taken down as well, and it's all falling apart for KCB.
And Fnatic just decide to pull the trigger and get all the right pieces in the right places as they're able to pick up 2 kills. KCB did luckily get the Herald before they scattered, but with Razork knocking away Prime, it felt like KCB got a little bit flustered and weren't quite sure what to do. And Tao as well chose to ulti in instead of flashing out. I mean, we'll break it all down in the replay here, but there's a little bit uncharacteristic mistakes. You see Tao, they pick up the Herald. I'm thinking, okay, Tao is just going to flash over the wall and get out. But instead, Tao ultis in and kind of kills himself. So he ends up falling to Upset. And then Prime is a victim of none of his own making and just dies as well alongside him. And 2 kills go over to Fnatic.
Yeah, really messy sequence. Fnatic getting a lot of what they want there. Again, the Poppy pick that we talked about, a Razork special, wasn't able to dominate as much in the early games as I think that he would like, but since they've kind of stabilized the game, he has been such a thorn in the side of KCB, the Steadfast Presence, as well as the ulti in that fight, doing a ton of work. And now Upset, the one with the gold advantage, the one finishing these Fiend Hunter's bolts, and the Yunara's only going to get stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I mean, this feels really bad for Hazel and Prime, right? They had a great laning phase, built up that lead slowly, and now it's all come crumbling down in one team fight, and Upset is the one with 2 completed items, while Hazel's just sitting on the pickaxe. He's probably got quite a bit of gold in his pocket, though, closing in on that Rage Blade, but it's the Ocean Drake that's already spawning now, so Hazel won't have any time to recall. I would advise KCB to not contest this dragon, as Prime might be in trouble here. Upset dashing forward
there
with the
from Upset. Galio coming in as well. Pantheon now coming in as well. Multi-man taunt, but the immediate knockback of Yukino is big. Forced the flash out from Hazel. Tao trying to get into the backside, running across the Rumble Equalizer as Lospa finds the knock-up to stop any further play. Only 1 member down so far, and it's on the side of Fnatic.
Okay, KCB, I wasn't familiar with your game. That was nice. They got a great engage. Hazel crucially flashed the Orianna ulti. That's a free dragon for KCB. And they just killed the Yunara that we were hyping up so much. And they get the mid-tower Herald too.
The tower finally going to fall. Tao dashing in to get that auto, getting the extra money as well. First tower of the game. They got grubs. They're up a Drake. Suddenly starting to feel like they're back in control, despite that last fight being a bit of a disaster. Here you can see they try to get Prime.
Yeah, I mean, Upset and Lospa want to really go for Prime here, but with the Galio, there's a huge Pantheon ult as well, and then Hazel follows up and crucially is able to flash both the Rumble and the Orianna ult, and that just means that Fnatic has no return play, as they really wanted to turn on Hazel after Upset died. And it leads for another dragon for KCB, as Empyros here might be in trouble.
Empyros rooted.
Never mind.
Starting to walk up. Hazel no ultimate means he can't just immediately get in there. So they will back off, but big fight for Hazel, especially. You highlighted it so well, right? Able to get Upset and then immediately get out despite being at that item disadvantage makes all the difference.
And now he's the one with the Rage Blade, so even though it's 2 items apiece for the ADCs, I definitely prefer the Kai'Sa here. Quite a bit stronger 2-item power spike with that Rage Blade completed.
And the ulti to go where he needs to. We'll see if KCB are able to collapse on side lanes, find a pick. That's one thing that we kind of expect from these Pantheon-style semi-global compositions, especially with the Kai'Sa. But hasn't happened quite yet. But now with mid lane tower broken down, I imagine we do see a little bit more side lane play just overall.
Yeah, I think Hazel really wants to try to get these mid waves quite deep, and then they can look to play on whichever side they so desire. I mean, the thing is, you don't have the most, like, crazy side lanes, like it's Galio, Cassante, who are not going to make so much progress on their own. So you really need the Pantheon and the Nautilus to be really aggressive themselves to create fights and make things happen. But still, I mean, it's KCB that are pushing in 3 lanes at once right now, and Empyros just has to drop this bot tower. So more gold going in favor for KCB. As Lospa wants to desperately try to get this big ward.
Focus for now on just clearing the vision.
Kamiloo emoted on him.
Yeah, he did.
Do you think he felt that?
I don't know. He's always smiling. It's hard to know.
No, I meant Lospa.
Because he got emoted on?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
he
mean,
wants to go in.
Yeah. He got angry.
He wants to.
I always, when I play against someone who emotes, I always instantly mute them. Like, I don't know, like my blood pressure rises. I need to mute instantly.
I can tell. I can tell. You're an angry guy. You hold it back. You run all the time.
Yeah.
But I see it come out when you play random games or with Forsen.
That's not true. With Forsen, I am Zen.
Fair enough. I don't believe it, but you said it, so
yeah,
take it at face value. Fnatic and KCB really just trading pressure back and forth. You could see a little bit of movement on the map. There's a lot of moments where either side is looking for an angle, but neither team has really presented it to them quite yet. Razork and Lospa moving up to top lane. They're thinking maybe we can get Kamiloo.
I just want to give some pressure to Vladi. I think, as we talked about earlier, right, with the side lanes, just like, ooh, KCB making a play on bot lane. Empyros has flash.
Flash forward from Yukino. Follow up there from the Pathmaker. Equalizer down, but it doesn't look like it's going to be nearly enough. Tao grabbing the kill on the side lane. The play that we were waiting to see with these semi-globals.
Yeah, there's no flashing out of that one. Empyros ends up falling. A great play from Yukino. Invests his own flash as well to make sure that they get that kill. It's a relatively empty kill. There's no objective on the map just yet. And Fnatic, they want to try to get something in return, but it might just be a little bit of vision.
And it's tough too, right? Because you can see Vladi individually has a pretty decent gold lead, but there's so much MR. And Galio's ability, Kamiloo's ability to just delete those waves is high enough that he can't really press any advantage.
Yeah. So what I was saying earlier, right, is while it is hard for KCB to make very proactive plays, they can still look for stuff like the Pantheon ult like they did just now, because they don't have such explosive side laners. In the same vein, it's really hard for Fnatic to ever make a play on side, because you're up against K'Sante Galio. Galio will just clear the wave, and K'Sante is undiveable. So then your only option is going mid lane, but in mid lane, KCB has already gotten mid tower, so Hazel can take every mid wave really far up, and they have great vision around the area. So Fnatic have kind of left scattered right now. They don't have any real good comeback play available to them, and they're just waiting for this Ocean Drake to spawn, and then we'll have another team fight.
Another full 5v5, what we're expecting. KCB get the first push in the mid lane, so can move in to lay down some vision of their own. You can also see Kamiloo on the bottom side of the map getting that bot wave forward. Fnatic face checking here, but I think this is one of the nice things about having Alistar, of course, is that you kind of check for free, although that's the TP from Tao, so KCB really telegraphing their intentions here. They got the bot wave forward. They want to use the TP to try and get a bit more control over mid wave. They're going to lose it anyway, because Fnatic have just sent more members. But now, the potential full-on 5v5 we are waiting for. That set, Kamiloo needs to get that ulti in here. Razork looking for the perfect ulti angle. The stun going to come down, but Razork able to get his ulti off in the meantime. Tao still standing strong. Equalizer going down. Upset pops the ulti of his own and is ready to get the fight going. Lost, but interrupted on the way in, keeping things standing. Upset still free firing across the team, though. Hazel so damn low. There's just nothing KCB can do. Upset finally given the freedom he wants to tear through this team fight. Empyros has to be careful. Razork coming over the wall, wants to get one more for Upset. The Aegis assault fades away, and down goes Yukino.
And Fnatic weathered the storm of the initial early game as Empyros wants to try to go for something more, but Hazel outplays him with the ultimate. But this is exactly the thing that we were worried about for KCB, is they run out of damage. They didn't get a good Galio ulti, they didn't get a great Nautilus engage, they didn't get K'Sante to really do much of anything. And once Razork is able to knock Yukino away, you see all the pieces, but they're not lining up properly. The Galio ult only hits the Rumble and the Poppy, and this is Upset's time to shine. While they're able to take down Lospa, it's a great 3-man shockwave onto Hazel, Yukino, and Tao, while Upset is just shredding the front lines, because at KCB they need a clean engage. They need a great start to this fight, because otherwise Fnatic just has way more damage and can just run them down like they did in this one.
The extended fight really just not going in the favor of KCB. Something we expected, but credit to Vladi, the 3-man shockwave makes such a big difference, getting Hazel low enough that there's just no way he can walk in. And Fnatic, you know, you've got the armor penetration there now for Upset as well. You've got some penetration coming in for Vladi too. So a lot of these tankier life bars, the Cassante, the Galio, even the Nautilus, is just going to feel a lot less relevant in the coming fights.
Yeah. I think it only gets harder and harder as well. Especially Hazel ended up going for, I think he's going for Hurricane. He could also be going for the Fiend Hunter Bolts, but I'm assuming he's going for Hurricane. And I get it. But I don't think it's what they need. I think they need more damage. So if he went for the AP route, he would be able to do a lot more damage to this front line and have a lot more threat with that evolved W. But we'll see. I mean, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but
it's fair. You don't like it. See if it works out for him and see obviously what the final itemization choice will be, although we're expecting Hurricane.
We'll see when he bases now. I've never seen Fiend Hunter Bolts Kai'Sa. There was some caster that was trying to convince me that it's good. I think it was Jake. I didn't take him so seriously.
It's interesting because it was Jake or Medic. And if it was Medic, I'd believe it because it probably came from high elo solo queue somewhere. And if it's Jake,
It was Jake. I remember it was Jake. Because he kept telling me Kai'Sa just wants to ulti in, no an auto attack. And I'm like, yeah, she wants to do that, but I don't think it's good. But now,
we're going to find out.
Built it. I mean, if there was a Kai'Sa game where you really needed ulti, it's this game. Because they do have a team comp that always wants to go in and set Hazel up for success in that sense. But I just think the AP itemization, like the Dusk and Dawn on Kai'Sa is pretty OP. I would have preferred that, but we'll see.
We'll keep note of your skepticism. Upset going for, you know, armor penetration now. You can see already hitting even before the ulti really comes into the fight. Puzzle is now, the fight has once again broken out. Good equalizer across the top of the team. Kamiloo keeping everybody shelled up, but it's another two-man shockwave. Prime completely taken down. Fnatic finding one really before KCB can even remotely fire back, and now they're just slaughtering them.
And Fnatic are making it look easy. They're running them down. They're going to get the Baron Nashor. Kai'Sa itemization be damned. He's not even going to do a single auto attack as Fnatic pick up this Baron Nashor. This is what you can't do with this KCB comp. You can't just look at Fnatic because you need to have a decisive engage, because if you're just posturing like that, then it's Upset that can click forward. It's Vladi that can get a good ultimate. And you see how this it does not work for KCB. Tau is too far forward, he gets cancelled by Razork's W, and then Upset can just keep auto-attacking, keep clicking forward, and then Vladi comes in with a great shockwave onto the front line here just to lock them up further and be able to continue running them down. And once KCB doesn't find the initial engage, they ran out of steam. And the rest of them end up falling. Yukino's able to flash out, but that's 3 kills and a Nash. And you have to feel maybe KCB's playoffs hopes.
Yeah, obviously a really tough situation. Even if the interview we heard with Hazel earlier made it feel like they were resigned to that fate. Still a tough thing to manage, although Empyros in the side lane is in trouble. Should at least be able to grab this. The rest of Fnatic pushing up mid lane, though. He's just trying to buy as much time as he can for the rest of his team to crash those waves forward. And again, in that fight, credit to the supporting cast for making sure Upset could really do whatever he wanted. I think almost like 30 autos in that fight. Completely and totally uncontested. The dream of any AD carry is now he also has the additional BF sword working towards IE.
Yep. On the bright side, that pick onto a Rumble is really good to delay this Fnatic Nashor. Yukino as well, choosing to push out this bot wave, and Tau being able to push out this top wave. We could have a Shifter's Baron throw on our hand if Fnatic get a little bit stressed out here. Because this is some good defensive play from KCB to deny waves from Fnatic and also pick off Empyros to really slow this down. I think Fnatic now will look to group up on this bot wave, push this out, and have Empyros either open mid or TP straight bot, but I hope that Empyros pushes mid and they play 2 lanes. But Drake is actually spawning in 15 seconds, so I think like everything I said, it's going to be a Drake fight.
Fnatic may be just going to go for this tier 1 first, however. We'll see how much pressure they feel from KCB. We talked about it. Decisive engage from KCB. If you just walk at Fnatic, if you can't immediately jump onto a priority target, things will fall apart. And it's Fnatic who are getting things kicked off as Razork just zoning away Kamiloo. Both sides squaring up. Yukino waiting off to the side, looking for an ulti angle. Has not been marked yet. Ulti now coming in. This is their opportunity to start a fight. Hazel for now, free firing, able to auto attack, but he immediately gets knocked out of the fight by Razork. That's a disaster. Fnatic again set up for success. Kamiloo landing the multi-man taunt, but he just has to flash away. Perfect ulti from Razork. Instantly stops the fight in its tracks. Tau nowhere left to go, hoping to use Razork as a taxi to escape this one. It's a disaster.
KCB have ran out of steam. They're dead in the water, and so are their playoff dreams. Fnatic have them routed. They'll pick up the dragon. They still have the Nashor for another 30 seconds. And with that, they'll pick up some extra towers on top of this and keep extending their gold lead to 7,000.
We've gone from a tiny bit of hope to praying on a miracle or a massive throw, as has often been the case here in the LEC. But Fnatic playing it really well. KCB, they're decisive, but it's just too late. Razork's ulti, simply better.
Yeah, Yukino just doesn't... He's not able to actually get into the fight whatsoever, and he's dead before he gets anything down. And then the Galio ult is pretty meaningless as well. And after that, it's been the tail of this game. It's just Fnatic getting one pick, getting one kill, and then running down the rest of KCB. And this Poppy and Yunara just feels so damn strong into this KCB compass. Now Yukino is caught. We'll see if he's able to get out with the help of Hazel. Some good damage onto Razork.
Does do good damage, but he just doesn't have the space to work. Upset hoping to catch him with a long-range slow, doesn't quite hit it. They get the ulti out of Upset at the very least, but with Yukino dead, I just don't think they have a way to get into that back line. Fnatic continuing the forward siege. They on the front line, they get the ulti from the Alistar.
Yeah. Grasping at straws here, definitely. Trying to find some angle of positivity here for KCB, but it's just so damn difficult to try to win this game. 8,500 gold now. And Fnatic are playing it slow, they're playing it controlled. They're just pushing waves, getting towers, extending that gold lead further. And with Nash spawning in 2 minutes, that's what Fnatic has their eyes on. Get that Baron Nasher and finish this game off clean.
Yep. Credit to Fnatic, you know, made a couple missteps in the early stages of the game. Lospa and Upset were falling behind a little bit more than we maybe anticipated. But once they got control of this game, they've been playing it, as you said, really disciplined, really clean. They're at 4-4, I think. They aren't in a position where they can afford to disrespect any opponent, no matter what their scoreline is. And now, tutorial style kind of closeout, what we're looking at. Minute and 30 until Baron. Fnatic will have control of the pit. They should be able to get first push out on these lanes. They've got excellent TP wards set up for flanks when Empyros' TP comes back up, which will be in plenty of time. Mid lane coverage, I mean...
Do we have the standings thing?
We have it. I've got the strength of schedule ready to go.
Oh, but not standings?
Not standings, sadly.
Because what I wanted to say is, with Fnatic winning this, there's a lot of teams now at 5 wins. It's an incredibly close league that we're currently in here. As Razork is very deep here. He might have gone a little bit too deep.
Razork taking a lot of damage. Knock him onto Hazel. The rest of the team now trying to follow up. Knock back is there.
Not
but
quite
Upset,
enough damage, though. I think if Hazel was AP here, I swear Razork would die.
But he's not.
He's not.
That's an IE that's coming next. He's not interested in your AP.
Oh,
Bloodthirster is docked in. There's Hazel falling up with a bit more damage. Vladi caught out. Upset, though, ready to keep the fight alive. And Lospa flashing over the wall, knocking Kamiloo back. Tau finally here, though. Kamiloo going to get taken down. Hazel able to free fire, but only onto Lospa. Not the target he wants to see. Forced to flash away from the Alistar. The combo still connecting. Immediate flash in from Upset to get the double. Maybe looking to make it a triple. Are they just going to set him up for a penta? No, because Vladi takes one of the kills as Empyros trying to take another.
Yukino run!
Sidestep, good. I mean, Yukino gets to live. That's respectable, but Fnatic, it looks like they're just going to end it here. They're simply too far ahead. The compositional advantage is theirs. The gold advantage is theirs.
Fnatic showed their experience today as KCB ends up falling. And with that, they are eliminated from LEC Versus playoffs. And Fnatic take one more step in the right direction for securing their spot in the playoffs.
That they do. Hearts out to KCB. We'll still get to see them next week, of course, but playing to show what they've got as their playoff dreams taken away, and Fnatic move a little bit further up in what is a very close standings.